Hi, this is Brent with Inside Audio, and in this video we're going to be recording some guitar parts with the affordable yet highly versatile Arturia Minifuse 2. I'm going to be using all of the bundled plugins, virtual instruments and samples exclusively in this video, so the goal is here to use everything that comes bundled with the Minifuse from start to finish. So this isn't going to be another tech specs video, it's going to be more about how the Minifuse is a great interface to bridge the gap when it comes to recording instruments. So let's get into it. So to start this track, I'm going to activate the Splice subscription that has came included with the Minifuse bundle, and I've already done this and I've found some drum loops and samples, and I'm going to use these in the project to sort of build the foundation and the backbone, and then I'll start laying down guitar parts and maybe some other instruments like bass. So if I head into Splice, I've got these samples here which I've already purchased, but again this is included in 3 months worth of the subscription with Minifuse, and all I have to do is literally just drag this sample here into Ableton. So let's drag it onto a new track. I'll put this up the top and let's have a listen. Cool, yeah, I really like that. Let's have a look at what else I have in Splice. Some tambourine shots, maybe I have some one shots. Yeah, I think I like these one shots, so let's also drag these in. Okay, so let's create a pattern out of these two one shots here. Cool, so next I'm going to record some electric guitar, and I'm going to do this using the Guitar Rig 6 effects. This is the bundled light edition that comes with the Minifuse 2, and if I'm completely honest, there's not a great deal that separates this from the full version of Guitar Rig 6. So let's see what sort of tones we can get just from dialing in the presets. Okay, so I've got my guitar and I'm using the Minifuse on the guitar line level button, and I'm also monitoring here using the mix in the USB mode, but also backed off slightly to the input mode just because there's an ever so slight little bit of latency. That way I feel like I can record in time, but I can also still hear the Guitar Rig 6 sound on the guitar, so it's inspiring when I'm recording. So if I go into genres, I'm looking for something kind of bluesy. That's quite cool actually. Actually, I prefer that. Okay, let's get rid of the delay. And some of these effects I've seen as individual things like Realm, and I've used the supercharger before, so these are some really great effects here. Okay, I really like that sound. Let's zoom out a little bit and give myself some time to come in. And let's just try and figure out a pattern roughly first to play alongside this beat. Okay, so I've got my pattern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the length of this, select it, and create the loop around here. And let's give myself a little bit of time beforehand, and let's record this then. So now that I have some harmony down, I'm going to lay down a bass line to keep building the ideas, and I'm going to use Guitar Rig 6 again because in the input sources I've just noticed that we also have the option to use this on not just guitar, but look, bass, drums, piano, so it's actually quite versatile. It's not just specific to a guitar. So let's use something maybe picked. Let's have a look. Okay, I like the sound of that. I want to give it a little bit more drive. Awesome, let's put this down and we can always make further changes later on down the road. Great, this is shaping up really well. I really like the sound that I've got, and I've decided I'm going to track some acoustic guitar parts to just try and bring a little bit more rhythm and fill out the frequency region a little bit more. So let's grab the acoustic behind me, and I'm going to track that using the Shure SM7B that I'm currently talking through, and we'll be switching out of the guitar line mode and just into the normal line mic mode on the MiniFuse. So I love what we have so far. I think I have 3 things I'd like to do to take this loop and this part of the arrangement to its full potential before doing some mixing. And I think it would be cool if it had some keys, either some piano or some sort of like electric keys, or perhaps both. So I've got the Analog Lab V. Again, you guessed it, this comes included with the MiniFuse bundle. And I'm looking for a piano. So if I go into the piano folder, and on the track I've got a MIDI controller down here, and my chords are pretty straightforward. Let's have a look. Okay, I quite like that. I think I might look for maybe an upright piano instead though. Upright. Okay, I like that one. It's got a little bit more presence and I like the room sound, but the point here is we've got loads of options. So let's record this down and just keep going and building the arrangement. Okay, if I come in here and do Command U, I can quantize the whole thing, and then rather than playing it twice, I'll just duplicate the pattern because it's exactly the same. Awesome. So there we have a piano part. And yeah, I think I might quickly have a look for something with a little bit of grit. Maybe something like a Vox or a Rhodes. That might just give this a little bit more interest. So if we double click on it, we get our options and presets. Let's have a listen. Oh yeah, that sounds great. A little bit too tinny. I like that. It's got a little bit of distortion required, I think. Pull back on the vibrato and introduce more reed and brilliance. Okay, let's track that then. Here we go. Same thing as before. Come on in, Command U, trim this, and duplicate it. Okay, I think what we've got now is really starting to sound like something quite decent. Let's have a listen. awesome. And we haven't done any mixing yet, so I really think that if you can get it good in the arrangement, then you're already on to a winner. I think something that this feels like it needs is maybe like a tambo. So let's come back. Okay, I think I'll go with this, and let's drag this in and put it onto the second half. Let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, that definitely adds that second section. I really like that. Okay, last thing I think this could do with, before we start to do any of the fun stuff with the mixing, is actually a little bit of vocals. So let's have a go at just doing some fun vocal ad-libs and just see what comes out of it. Okay, so I think we have a really great track here, and that's thanks to the efforts in putting all of our energy into tracking good parts, layering, and using good samples. And honestly, this is consistent throughout your recording career. If you can get it good at the source, then the mix should be quite effortless, and we're going to show you how that proves useful now. So a lot of the other things that come with the MiniFuse bundle are really useful in taking the productions further and just shaping them that little bit further down the line. So, for example, on the vocal bus, we already have some of the tuning capabilities, but if we go back in the browser, there's a fantastic plugin called the RevPlay 140. So I'm going to load this onto the bus here, and basically this is an emulation of a plate reverb. What this does is it applies some sort of spatial color to our vocals. So let's blend in the dry wet mix knob, and I'm going to drive it slightly to give it a bit of a saturation feel, and we'll keep it on the modern feel, and let's keep the decay time quite short. Let's have a listen to what this sounds like. Okay, so that really does make a big change. Let's have a listen without it. With it. So that'll sound a lot better in the track. Another thing we can do is we can apply some saturation to anything we want, but it'll really help the transients and sort of the percussiveness of the acoustic stand out. So again, I'm going to group these and say acoustic guitar track, and let's solo these for the loop. And I'm looking for pre-1973. So this is an emulation of a Neve 1073, and basically what I'm going to do here is a little bit of driving the preamp and a little bit of EQ as well. So we've got a stereo EQ here. Let's have a listen to how we can just use this to shape the sound. We've also got a range of presets, so we could even start off with one of them and tweak it to our liking. That preset has lifted the presence and the top end, and it's also rolled off some of the boxy low end. We can bring that up a little bit more. So starting with the preset and changing it to make it your own is really useful. Okay, I think that sounds great as well. I really like that. I'm going to come now to this keys part. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to apply the June 6 chorus, and what this does is it's basically a modulation effect that will widen the sound of the keys part. So let's have a listen to what this is like beforehand and with it. And we can alter the phase, and we have two different modes. We could do a lot more with EQ, compression, and obviously we have some of the audio effects that come with Ableton Live Lite, which is the DAW that is provided with the MiniFuse. But we've basically took a track in half an hour from concept to putting down a section of the arrangement, and we have vocals, piano, keys, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass, and we also have our pattern from the splice samples. So let's have a look at what we've created in a very short period of time. And And if it was me here, I would just continue to flesh out the arrangement. I would think, how can I build a chorus from this, a verse, an intro, and so on. So let's have a listen to what we have. Okay, so considering that this has been a flyby tour of the little Arturia Minifuse 2, I think it's safe to say that that doesn't sound too bad at all. It's not just the interface itself that does a great job with its really great preamps, its low noise floor, and the fact that it comes with some fantastic plugins. It bridges the gap between being able to take your ideas from inside your head or on a piece of paper and getting them down quickly into a DAW with the useful tools that get your songs to radio ready standards. So I hope you found this useful, guys, and you can find out more information on the Inside Audio blog. I'll see you in the next one.